What is this lighter topic, you might ask? Well, I'm going to talk about girls' nights, well, and socialization and all that sort of jazz in general, as is the norm in my life right now. A little Miss Cuteness is in my lap, and hopefully she stays all happy and whatnot. So yeah, we're doing the mom thing and recording with a kid. So, it is what it is. But um what I wanted to kind of just first cover is socialization in our post-pandemic world. I think it has become more evident to many, even in some of the introverts I have spoken to, the benefits and importance of having a support system and having friends and just having a team, not feeling like you're alone out there. And specifically, as I was researching this stuff and really wanting to figure out how technical I wanted to get and how not technical, I guess, I wanted to get, I ran into an article at health.mil. And so this is basically a military health site. And the topic was support for military spouses. And I really just appreciated the way they worded this. And it says, and I'm just going to quote a little bit from their wording. Military spouses of service members face unique stressors. They often cope with multiple deployments, frequent moves, long separations, concerns about their loved one's future. Many times, they have to manage a household and a family alone. These realities of military life can take their toll on the military spouse and impact the entire family. And it goes on to that having a support network is a huge benefit in helping us cope with those things. But in all sincerity, everyone has stressors that they are needing to cope with. And I teach classes, and I will talk about this a little bit at the end of the episode. But I do teach some webinars and other classes specifically about interpersonal relationships and resiliency, stress management, time management, and whatnot. And one of the things that I like to cover is something called the ABCX model. And I've talked about it on this podcast. But if you missed that, basically it's how to handle stress and be resilient. And one of those components to it is resources. And the other, and so one of those main resources is having a support group, having people you can turn to and talk to and work things out with. Life is difficult, and sometimes we forget some of the most just like obvious things, and we need to be reminded by someone. And so, having caring, loving people in our lives who can do that is just pivotal. And hopefully, that includes your family. Um, but sometimes it doesn't. And even when it does, having friends is always important too. So, um, that kind of pulls into what I wanted to talk about in general. So, as I've mentioned, also, I also talk about goal setting and I like to share some of my goals with you guys. And one of my goals this year, as I break it into those four quadrants, the one I want to talk about is social. So, my social goal for this year was girls' nights, and have kind of having a girls' night group because I know personally for me, postpartum depression is something I have struggled with. And I knew I was having little Miss Cuteness. And I knew that one of the things that has helped me in the past deal with postpartum depression and anxiety is socialization. And so setting up a girls' night thing is something that I could look forward to um, was going to be of benefit for me. And so that is one of the things I've been doing. And the great thing I've been able to do is I've been in this area for a hot minute. And thanks to my congregation, have been able to establish some good friends, but friends outside of my congregation as well. And so we've kind of started this informal girls' night group where every month someone hosts and they get to pick the theme or whatever and location and time and day and throw it out to everyone. And if you're interested, you go that month. If you're not interested, you don't go that month. And it's fine. It's no stress, no hassle as much as possible. So one of the first one we did was a white elephant gift exchange. So I'm going to go through some of the ideas that we've done and some of the ideas I want to do, just to kind of give you some ideas because maybe you are thinking, okay, it's been a while. I want to get socializing again. I want to build friends. I want to reach out. I want to have a support group, like a system, just people to do things to and things to look forward to. And sometimes I'm an extrovert, so it's not really as hard for me to do this and kind of step out of my comfort zone. But at the same time, I know there are people who are like a combination introvert and extrovert, or they're introverts, but they still like being around people sometimes. So I just kind of want to hit on some things we've done in our girls' night group that you might be able to put to use and just do with friends. It doesn't have to be a formal girls' night group, um, but just maybe a friends' night out or whatever. Um, I mean, I guess it could be a guys' group if that's a thing. I don't know. I always ask my husband, I'm like, do you want to go hang out with guys and stuff? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, okay, sure. I guess they get a lot of socialization at work and in the field and whatnot. While we're usually, at least I'm usually with my kids. So there is that. But anyway, back to the girls' night stuff because I digress. Anyway, so yeah, the first one we did was a white elephant gift exchange. And if you're not familiar with what that is, a white elephant gift exchange is where everyone brings something kind of random, all wrapped up. And it can be something serious and or something silly, and it could be a gag gift, whatnot. And there's usually a price limit set. And then what you'll do is you wrap them up, and then everyone gets a number, and in order you get to pick a present and unwrap it, or you can steal a present someone else has unwrapped. And then they have to pick another present or steal. And it kind of just goes around. Once a present has been stolen 3 times, it can't be stolen again. Anyway, a lot of people are familiar with it. I still am surprised sometimes when I run into people who are not familiar with it. Um, but yeah, that's what a white elephant gift exchange is. The other one we did was a spa night. You could bring your own nail stuff, or the lady who was hosting it, um, she had a ton of stuff and she had some really cool things I have been seeing on Pinterest and wanting to try, like nail products. I love getting my nails done. I've always loved doing my nails and getting my nails done. So I just was great. And part of the problem with doing my nails at home myself, even though I can and I can do them rather well, is that I like, just things come up. Like, as soon as I put on that coat of nail polish, a kid will be like, "Mommy, I got hurt. I need a bandage." Or, baby's like, "Feed me. I'm starving," or something like that. And I inevitably just like gunk up my nails and ruin them. And so being able to kind of do it together with a whole bunch of other girls, ladies, and not have to worry about that was fantastic. So I had fun with that one. The next one we did was girls' night, chick flick night. Um, and again, we're not that far into the year, so we've not done that many of them. But yeah, the chick flick, just all got together with, snacks and watched a chick flick together, and it was fantastic and completely low stress and super fun. I really enjoyed it. I liked it because I got to pick the chick flick. Which, P.S., a big shout out to the black and white movie on Amazon Prime. It's called Three Guys Named Mike. I love it. It's my speed. It's not going to be everyone's taste, but I really, really love that movie. And it is one of those movies, or at least for me, that I finished watching and immediately rewatched because I'm like, wait, I think I missed something. Um, but it's a fantastic movie. It's really good. Another idea that we had was a book exchange where everyone could bring a copy of their favorite book and to give away. And we all kind of would just talk about our books, and then everyone could take home a book to try. So you can do it that way, or you can do the anonymous book exchange where everyone brings a book and they write a really vague description. And they're all wrapped in like brown paper or something. You write a really vague description on your book, and then people randomly grab a book, not knowing what book they get, and you just spend the whole night eating snacks and talking about your favorite books, which I love doing. I like coming up with book lists because I really feel like there are times that I just forget how many amazing books there are out there. And so I like that one. Another one was Girls' Night Out, and this can take multiple facets. Like you can go out for appetizers or you could go out for Nerf gun. There's a Nerf gun arena not far from where I live, and it is a lot of fun. The other thing is where we live, there's a shooting range that does ladies' night where women shoot girls, like, women shoot free, ladies shoot free. Um, and so there's been some talk about maybe doing that. I mean, all of our husbands know how to shoot weapons. We should learn, right? They don't, we can have some fun too. Um, Another was maybe going to an art museum. I love art. I love art museums. It's hard to find one that is engaging for my kids and my whole family. And so having friends to go see art with, I think is really fun and exciting. The other is maybe go hiking. There's a lot of ladies in our girls' night group who like to go hiking, and there's great places to go hiking here locally. So that's always something fun. Back to a night in idea is game night. This can take a lot of different forms. I know some people are really into bunko. I've never really learned bunko. There's even I don't know, maybe this is just where I'm at, but I feel like bingo and oh, I just blanked. The card game with four people. Anyway, have really taken off in interest again lately in the last little bit. As soon as I like post this, I'm gonna remember what that game is that I'm trying to bridge. It's bridge. Ha! I did not have to wait. I remembered. Good. Okay. But yeah, so game night, board games. I love board games. I love card games. We have a game closet. It's just kind of a thing. um, I grew up playing a lot of board games and card games um, as a kid, and I still love those. Another is a coloring book session, getting some of those grown up coloring books and just kind of sitting down and coloring in them together. I really think that one just sounds fun. Just like talk and snack and color. Why not? You notice that I keep mentioning food. I don't like food at all. Hint, hint, joke. Anyway, um, yeah, crafting club. This is one that someone I knew they used to do is they would all just get those, those craft projects that you all started and never finished, but you want to finish, but you just never have time to finish, or you want to do, but you don't want to do when you might get interrupted. Yeah. So just get together and everyone brings a craft they want to work on. Um, Another one is a chocolate tasting night, which I just love chocolate, so that also sounds way fun. And then another one was like a yoga night or an exercise night, like go to like a bar. If you don't know what bar is, it's like a combination of Pilates and ballet, stretching and workouts. um, I go to like a bar class together or do yoga together. I have some Bollywood dance exercise videos that I love. And so we've talked about maybe even doing that for kicks and giggles. So yeah, that one I think is going to be fun if we ever get around to it. But yeah, I yoga I think is fun too. Maybe there's someone in your group who teaches self-defense or kickboxing or something like that. I think that would always be just fun, and it depends. You could have people with lots of different skills in your group. We have someone in our area who is she's fantastic at baking bread. So like there was a baking bread class. That wasn't technically a girls' night group, but it still was. You could even do a CPR class, like a girls' night for CPR. See if you can get someone who is CPR certified to help teach you all CPR if that is something you want to learn. You could even go out and like do service, like go help out, volunteer at the USO or at a soup kitchen or someplace like that. Um, there's just a lot of different things you can do. And I think, again, part of the reason why I wanted to do this is because I feel like we get caught up sometimes in just not knowing where to start. And so, oftentimes, most duty stations I've run into have a spouse page. So you could throw it out on a spouse page if you are not, like, if you're new and you don't know a lot of people, throw it out to your congregation, mention it at a PTA, um, yeah, just wherever, and find people who have those same interests or just people who are enjoyable to be around. And the thing that's great about doing it as a girls' night group is you know that you will most likely have something to look forward to every month. You don't have to plan it every month or host every month. And you can learn different things and kind of just branch out. And um, remember when we were first talking about this as a girls' night group, someone threw out, we could just get together and talk too. And there's something to be said for that. When we when I did had a girls' night group before, um, we always would have these lofty goals on we're gonna play board games or we're gonna do this or do that. And we would literally spend 90% of the time just talking. Sorry. My husband was deployed at the time, and especially I found when my husband's deployed, I am even more desperate for adult conversation. And so that was something that I really found fascinating and was interested in. So it was just getting together and having people to talk, just talking about life, the universe, and everything. Because there are times that we want to talk about girly things that we don't, that particularly our husbands may not care about much. I mean, they love us, but it doesn't mean we have everything in common. The other thing we found out is we had a lot at that time. A lot of members of our girls' night group at that time were gamers. And so, again, we never got around to it, but we had talked about having like a gaming session. And I'm not going to say that I am a gamer. I'm not. really a gamer very much. But I do play Sims, and my husband has taught me a few other games. So I can hang with gamers, even though I am not naturally a gamer. In fact, some video and computer games cause major anxiety and stress in my universe for me. So, not always my thing. Although, hey, I am a pro when it comes to Tetris and Dr. Mario. I can do those with the best of them. I remember the first time I started playing with my kids, like, Mommy, you have to have a handicap. You've got to have more viruses to get rid of because that's not fair. That was, I, w- I don't really hold back when I'm playing video games and computer games with my kids. My whole thing is I want them to know that if they won, they earned it. And so, I mean, I'm not brutal, but I don't take it easy. And so when my son finally beat me at Mario Kart, he was so proud of himself. And because he knew he had earned it. Mama hadn't given him nothing. He earned that. So, yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about this week is building a support group, building a group of people that you can rely on and you can just relax with and de-stress with. And that's important for everyone. It's important for our kids, it's important for our spouses, but it's important for us too. And um, especially in the post-pandemic era, it might be hard to think of things we got out of the habit of doing social stuff. I mean, for me, it wasn't too much of a difficulty. I always have ideas of things I want to do to socialize because, again, extrovert, I like socializing. So, but for other people who might just be struggling with where to start, I wanted to give you some ideas that I find fun and interesting that maybe you would find fun and interesting as well. There's one that just popped into my head, so I'm going to finish up with this one. And it's a scavenger hunt, a picture scavenger hunt. So you can do it at a mall or just around town, or even in your neighborhood. You could even do it on post or base, wherever your duty station is, tailor it to where you're at. But come up with a list of items and then have people break up into teams and they have to go find those items and take pictures with them. And then everyone meets back at a certain place at a certain time for dessert because everything revolves around food in my head. I mean, I am Italian. It's food. Food is a thing. But anyway, um, so that is a fun one I have done in the past that might be fun to revive. It might just, the reason why it also just might be fun to do it in a mall is that way you're not driving from location to location, but you're getting some steps in. So you're getting a little bit of exercise too. But it's sneaky exercise because it feels like fun. Anyway, those are some of my ideas. Like I said before, I typically do a webinar, um, yeah, a video seminar, um, this time of year, usually in the spring and in the fall, with a fellow military spouse and life coach, um, Maria Strange. She's a podcaster also. Anyway, but due to Miss Cuteness and and her in the middle of a move, we will be postponing and just moving that on until we'll pick it up in fall. We're gonna take a hiatus this spring.